Hi everyone, welcome to Reading Now. It's a little effort to introduce you some good books by reading few lines from the book that I have already read. So today we are seeing this. You can see An Uncommon Love by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni. She's also been the classmate of I think Sudha Murthy. So is a again the book name is An Uncommon Love: The Early Life of Sudha and Narayan Murthy. So basically, this thick book is a whole beginning stories of these how they two met, and how they created one of the biggest company of India, that is Infosys. So let's look at some of the lines from this book that I really loved. Although I loved the whole book, I end up almost underlining many pages, almost every line of some chapters. But here I'm introducing you some good chapters to know if you want to read the book or not. So we're starting with 110 page is the chapter name. I don't know. Okay. So we're reading this 110 page number, last passage. Before her marriage, Sudha made another decision. She would spell her last name differently from Murthy's. She told him Murthy was correct way to spell the name as that was closer to the original Sanskrit pronunciation. She had always loved Sanskrit, to which she had been introduced by her grandfather, and she wanted its authenticity to shine through new name. Murthy, Murthy, who was easy about such an issue, did not mind. So when Sudha Murthy decided to not to change uh, their surname, Mur, Sir Murthy did not mind and agreed to not change. So there's final line. There was one final wedding gift that Sudha gave Murthy. She tore up the notebook she had used to keep track of the money he had borrowed from her, which by then had run up to 4,200 rupees. So this is the early life when they get married, when they decided to get married, and their final day of the wedding, like wedding day. So, okay, now I'm gonna read the page number 292. Is another chapter. Once again, Murthy and his think tank went outside the box to solve the problem. They decided to use employee stock options plans (ESOPs) as a method to attract and retain the best talent. In 1994, Mohan Pai, Infosys CFO, would implement India's first large-scale ESOP scheme. This method, unseen in India at the time, would end up making Infosys a very popular employer. It was a huge step in the history of Indian business. In the history, many startups would follow in Murthy's footsteps in this. But as is true of many innovations, at first this system created a challenge for Infosys. When the plan was getting started, a frustrated Raghavan came to Murthy and told him that employee did not understand what ESOP was and what the value of stock meant. Therefore, it was hard to convince them to go for it. Murthy and Mohan called a meeting and explained the value of ESOPs to Infosys employees, patiently answering questions and giving examples. Even after that, there were many non-believers. One young man came to Murthy's office and asked him to take the stock back and give him few hundred rupees instead as a part instead as a part of his salary because he needed it at home. Murthy had to use all his persuasive power to convince him to keep his stock and believe in the long-term future of the company. This person later on become worth of 300 plus crores. So yeah, Infosys was the first company to introduce ESOPs. ESOPs is basically employee stock options plans. Those in corporate may understand much better. There's a policy where some work as a part of equity, like some portion of the stocks, and stocks keep increasing if the company is valuable and giving to the world something. So stocks values keeps higher in the long term. It makes you richer beyond words. So yeah, Infosys was the first company. Now let's move to. I'm moving to page number 333. Last present. Infosys needs to start a foundation. Sudha had a firm voice, and I want to be part of it. You can be founder trustee, Murthy said at once, and decided on the kinds of philanthropic project we take on. Would you like that? Sudha hugged him. I would like that very much indeed. Infosys Foundation, established in 1996, would go on to support programmers in the areas of education, rural development, healthcare, arts and culture, and destitute care all over India, transforming the lives of millions of people. For 25 years, Sudha would be its chairperson and guiding light. By 2022, its endowment would be worth more than rupees 50 billion. In 2023, they would impact the lives of nearly 2 million people. At one point, the Economics Time would give an award to Infosys Foundation, and it would be Sudha's job to accept this honor. By then, Akshata in the sense, here the Akshata name, is the daughter of Sudha and Narayan Murthy ji, as a younger daughter. Yeah, they had a first baby boy, and then another baby girl. That's her name is Akshita. By then, Akshita was a student in the US, but Sudha would request her to attend the award ceremony in Mumbai, even it was for just one day. If you hadn't woken me up that right time, she told her, I wouldn't have changed my life's course, and none of this would have happened. At the ceremony, she would acknowledge her daughter as a guru. In response, Akshita would say, You are my hero. Yeah, this is page number 334. This book I can go on reading many lines because I have almost every pages underlined few lines. Um, so now I want to read this a note from you can see a note on Narayan Murthy. I'm sorry, just few lines of it. Described as a father of Indian IT by Time Murthy has always also has been listed among 10 most admired global business leader by Economist, as one of the 12 greatest entrepreneurs of our time by Fortune, and one of the global business leader of the last 25 years by CNBC. He was awarded at Padma Vibhushan by Government of India in 2008, the Legion d'Honneur of the government by France in 2008, and the CBE by the British government in 2007. So, and there's also a note on Sudha Murthy. Yeah, some few lines from this note also. Sudha Murthy has broken many class ceilings in her life. In 2006, he was awarded the Padma Shri, and in 2023, the Padma Bhushan, the third highest civilian award in India. She is currently the chairperson of Murthy Trust, a not-for-profit organization dedicated to the preservation and celebration of culture, science, and knowledge system born out of India. So, yeah. So, just a few lines from the author's note, what authors has to say about writing this book's journey and indulging in their lives. At its heart, this is a love story, an uncommon one. It chronicles not only Sudha and Murthy's love for each other, but also their love for their values and for their country, and their determination to use the former to transform the latter. It shows us the human love, no matter what the romantic movies profess, is fraught with the failures as well as success, sadness as well as joy. Special thanks to Sudha Murthy and Narayan Murthy, their children Akshita and Rohan. Yeah, so Rohan was the first baby boy born, and Sudha's sibling Sunanda, Jayashree, and Srinivas. They are all the siblings of the Sudha Murthy ji. For the frank, generous, and sometimes laugh out loud. conversation that helped to shape the book, and to Chiki for trusting in me for more than I trusted myself. Yeah. So Sudha Murthy, I think I requested the author, which is her friend also, to write this book. But it was the first time Chitra Banerjee ji to write something this non-fictional something. If you know Chitra Banerjee have written, I think one of the fictional stories. I couldn't name. I'm sorry, but yeah, this is a very good book. Long story short, I think you must try. You'll just instant by reading first few pages of the book. It keeps you hooked and sometimes made you like, wow, what a book. Yeah. So here's my suggestion to read everyone's An Uncommon Love by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni. I'm sorry. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Bye.